Salutations, viewers. My name is GameDame, and welcome back to another one of GameDame Reacts. So we have more input on Halo Infinite and more technical previews, and this time it is about the multiplayer menu and the lobby developer walkthrough. So you guys know I'm a huge Halo fan, so I need to review every aspect of the newest Halo Infinite before I go ahead and be like, yeah, I'm going to buy this day one, or if, yeah, I'm going to get like the collector's edition. So I need to see what I'm going to be in for, especially when it comes to the UX UI, because that is what I do for a living. So without further ado, let's watch the multiplayer menu and lobby developer walkthrough for Halo Infinite technical preview.
Feed, I reckon, and we can sort of take a look at our lobby space, I guess. You know, what is the official term for this space that we're going to feed into? Once Josh is able to kind of hit that switch. There we go. So this is it, right? This is our tech preview build. We're looking at it right now live.
Yep, this is the essentially the menu that you're going to hit as soon as you boot up. So
okay, it doesn't look too bad. I like it.
Academy options there. If you hit start, you can get into our main settings, and there's a few settings I think we want to show off.
Let's take a look. I mean, no, I like settings. No one's ever seen these settings in detail before, so we'll kind of take a look here. So we want to make sure, obviously, players understand. And like, first thing you should do if you're going to be in the tech preview this weekend, probably just kind of get acclimated, tweak your settings to your liking, just make sure that things are sort of the way you want them, if you will. So I think, you know, I'll just quickly scroll through. I'm not going to speak to every one of these.
Okay, it's pretty easy actually, and I like how they have more options.
I think you're going to find a lot of
accessibility.
Sort of what you'd expect to find in some regards. You know, hold the sprint if I want to do that. I can kind of really dial in my sensitivity and all that. I'm pretty casual, so I kind of tend to just run default in a lot of cases. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Yeah, I think that I've never gotten into all the zoom sensitivity settings, but
I'm just worried I would get myself into a state where I would just never land a shot again, or who knows, maybe I would suddenly sort of evolve to the next level. Now, keyboard and mouse players on PC, and also I believe console now supports mouse and keyboard as well. Excuse me. A couple of things here they might want to look at that's pretty interesting. If we can get down to it, is the fact that, you know, triple keybinds. You have a lot of flexibility here in how you want to set up your keys. I want to give a shout out, you know, as all the work that happened over the last couple of years to update MCC and bring that to PC, and all the fantastic work by the pub team. You know, being able to have triple keybinds was super important to the PC community. That was great feedback that we heard, and that's a good example of just
very important
of taking those learnings and kind of that experience and bringing it over to the Infinite side.
Yeah, I think we owe a great debt to all the work that MCC and the publishing team has done with diving in, like, feet first into the PC environment and getting us ready for this.
You know, I'll hover on this one for a minute because I'm pretty sure I haven't been able to do this before in a game. Have I been able to actually just straight up drop my weapon for a teammate before?
Not that I know of, and honestly, it's been quite fun to use, especially when you're playing with
that's a really cool feature.
Players. You can just secure rockets for them and then hand it over to them. You know, they get to play around with a power weapon that they might not normally have gotten.
So, dare we say maybe this is the end of betraying your teammates to take sniper?
Yeah, try to extort them, I guess.
Yeah.
Possibly. Cool. So a whole bunch of stuff here. You know, this is something else that we, I think was mentioned in one of our employee spotlight blogs, but marking. This is also a new element to Halo games.
Yeah, and I've actually been really happy with the marking system. So if you're on PC, it is super easy just to mark everyone you see, and the game rewards you for it. You actually get points. You get a mark assist if someone kills someone who you've marked, and stacks with your normal assist points. And I believe there's a medal you can earn for marking enough
That's
people
pretty
who
cool
get killed.
that you're able to mark.
So I'll just kind of scroll through here quickly so we don't totally get inundated in settings, but it just goes on and on and on. So let me go over here to video as well. Something else I just kind of wanted to point out, which, by the way, I do not. That is criminal for me to be on a FOV of only 70, but you know, we heard,
Yeah,
I think
that
this has
is
always
criminal.
been something Halo fans have wanted. We know, and everyone knows, the FOV really does have a dynamic impact on your experience.
It does.
In terms of not only just your vision, but the sensation of movement and speed. All those things are greatly impacted. So pretty awesome to me that on day one we already have a field of view slider, and this is going to be available on, I think, on multiple platforms. It's not a PC-only feature.
That's correct, yeah.
That's really cool. It's going to be
I mean, what's
on
your
multiple
preference? I kind of
platforms.
generally like to kick it up here, maybe in the 90 to 100 range. I mean, we can go, all the way up to 120 if we really wanted to.
Yeah, I
wanna
usually
see
like
what
to kick it
120
in
is
95
like.
to 100.
All right, well, I'll split the difference. We'll go 95 there. But yeah, just kind of go through here. Lots of different nuanced graphical settings to really allow people to custom tailor based on, you know, their own personal preferences, what's most important to them on their PC hardware. If I didn't mention that, if it's not clear, we are playing on PC here currently. So,
I figured as much. They'd be playing on PC
you will not have the full breadth of
showcase
all these
everything.
options necessarily on every
PC Master
platform.
Race.
But clearly for PC, it makes the most sense. I thought this is pretty cool too, being able to sort of opt in or opt out of something that we call speed lines. So when you're sprinting in the game, we have some cool visual effects that help sort of really convey that sense of increased speed. But if I don't like it, I can just turn it off.
Yeah, I think the fact that we've got so many settings that are tailored so that you can fully immerse yourself, or if you're looking for a stripped down experience, if you don't want that, you can turn it off.
Same thing goes, of course, lots of audio customization here. Want to make sure people are aware of things like subtitles.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can turn those off and on
100%
if you want to.
For
I did want to call this out as well. I know you and I were talking earlier about this, but just a little bit of a public service announcement for anyone playing this weekend in the tech preview. By default, currently in this build, your mic is just set to full open, full hot. So some people might like that, some people may not. Personally, I was kind of caught by surprise when I was saying a bunch of stuff in the game, and I thought it was private. So I just wanted to pass my learnings on to you. So no one gets kind of caught maybe in a precarious situation.
Imagine.
So yeah, a lot of different options here, including Spartan Chatter. We'll hear a little bit more of that when we roll some more footage. And then the last thing I thought would be kind of cool to really point out, we've talked about this a little bit briefly in some of our blogs, but we have this new system that we're calling Friend and Foe, right? Which, in order to really support and embrace our goals and our aspirations about leaning more into player expression and having a lot more cool ways to customize your own Spartan and your own Spartan journey, it just didn't really work anymore to force everyone into a default red or blue model, right?
Yeah, that's true. I saw that in one of their other trailers.
So
I like the
by
outline that
default,
they have for
red
it.
and blue outlines, but for accessibility purposes, we know that various people can't see in certain shades, so we've got a wide array of colors that you can choose for both enemies and friends, and you can also customize the folks in your fire team to be another unique color.
Yeah, it is
That's
really
pretty
flexible,
cool
really
for the
cool.
people
I
in your
also
fire
personally
team to be different
being
color.
able to sort of, if I want to go old school and display a full gamer tag above someone's head, I could do that. Also helps me sometimes when I'm personally just trying to register a friend from foe. And then, I should call this out. You'll see this in the UI menu here. The theater will not be included in the tech preview, so we won't have that experience. The theater is coming back though, so event timeline is a brand new feature. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but you could probably surmise what that might mean in the context of the theater. And this is pretty crazy too. Weapon offsets, so people want to be able to move that stuff around, I guess.
Yeah. I know people who like to get a slightly different gameplay experience based on some old school games where they have the weapon more centered, or some people like to just push it way off, or so far off that they hit their mic. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I guess one of the predominant themes here is just trying to give players as many options as possible to really dial in the experience to suit their personal tastes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is just a set of menus, but I'm really looking forward to hearing what people think of these settings and the things that they can put together to customize it to exactly how they want to be. I want Halo to be like the comfiest chair in your house.
I like that.
I like that,
All right,
too.
so let's back out of the
that a
settings.
lot.
Something else I think we want to point out to participants in the tech previews to keep an eye on this weekend. The news feed. Wow, this is like next-gen
For
news.
the tech preview,
seriously. This is just good to keep an eye on if you're playing in the tech preview. We will probably use this to convey updates over the course of the flight, critical information. If the playlist experience evolves, we'll let people know through here, right? And I think, Sam, you wanted to specifically call this one out in particular, right?
Yeah, so we've got a notification for people on PC, especially if you're using the AMD GPU. You're going to want to make sure you update to the latest driver. It is a significant performance increase for PC users on AMD GPUs. So please make sure you do that, and make sure you check out the news for that kind of attention announcement.
Nice. I think that was a pretty good technical overview. I think overall, the multiplayer menu and the lobby is actually, and all the settings is really, really solid. And I like how they're so accessibility forward in this game, because I know, like, I understand you want they started doing customizations in like 4.5 and Reach and everything. It's just, well, this company for 4.5, but it's always been the standard red versus blue, and I like how they have the outline, but they always thought about people with color blindness where you may not be able to see certain colors, which I really commend 343 Studios doing this. Like, that's really awesome and forward of you, because accessibility is so important, especially with any technology nowadays, because I mean, we have to be available to absolutely everyone. But yeah, the settings is pretty easy. The UX UI seems flawless, like flawless as in like it's really easy to navigate and I'm impressed. I'm impressed as a UX UI designer with everything that has come. It's not like the blocky format. I hate the blocky format where like the Windows 10 or some shit, or the actual Microsoft interface right now. I hate all the blocks, dude. I just don't get it sometimes. You get used to it, but it's just annoying. But let me know what you guys think of the UX UI down below, like the and all the settings and availability for accessibility. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I highly appreciate your time as always. But please do not forget to subscribe and or follow not only to my YouTube, but to my Twitch. You guys know where my YouTube is at. You can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/thegamedame. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.